Afternoon, vinyl community. It's Steve again. It's on this Sunday afternoon. Sun is shining. I'm currently just chilling out. Done a pile of ironing. Perils of living on your own, I suppose. I'm here with another video. I think this is number 13 now. I hope that you guys can hear me. I know there's been some issues with my volume of the speech, so apologies for that. I hope that I'll look to improve on that. As I said in previous ones, I am just speaking directly into my MacBook Air, so maybe I do need to invest in some sort of microphone, but hey, we'll see how that goes. All depends on really how the videos fare. I've had subscriber number 11, though he prepared to keep themselves anonymous, so thank you all the same, whoever you are. So well appreciated. So here's my latest batch of collections. Again, a mixture of charity shops and from my local record store in the pound bins. Some singles, some 12-inch singles in this batch. So first up, something I've rescued a little bit. Gladys Knight and the Pips, Everybody Needs Love. This is in mono. It's the mono version. Looking at when this album came out, 1967. Produced by Norman Whitfield. I think the best known track is in it is Take Me in Your Arms and Love Me. Gladys Knight. Pips, very popular, especially over in the UK. We're always on the television quite a lot. I must say, I didn't realise at the time until later that she was on Motown. But hey, I enjoyed this record. Glad to rescue this because it's a shame somebody would have thrown this out. Cover's not in the greatest shape, but the vinyl plays. That's the important thing. So that's Gladys Knight for you. Coming up, I've got a couple of singles. First one up is John Lennon's Imagine. This came out as a single in 1975. And in a sense, it signified a bit of a break, where he took the break to become a father to Sean. We didn't hear anything until Double Fantasy. Obviously, sadly, this got re-released after his murder, and went to number one. B-side is Working Class Hero from the Plastic Ono Band album. It's just, Imagine it's just a classic song. What can I say? Idealistic, yes. You know, now in these troubled times, maybe it's something we could all do. Imagine a bit more. We need something to cling on to. You know, the world's just going absolutely tits up at the moment. I know in the UK, I'm not sure if our government knows what it's doing. I don't like the direction it's going, particularly in the way of housing. A lot of people becoming homeless. But I'll get off my soapbox. This is about music. Next single I picked up. This is Lindisfarne, and this is Lady Eleanor. Now, this was a reissue of the original single. This came out in 1974, I think. The original single came out in 1970, and it's back. But B-side is another single of theirs, Fog on the Tyne, which is a bit of an anthem for them. Lindisfarne were from Newcastle upon Tyne, which is north east of England. Very much folky vibe to their rock music. Very popular in the early 70s. They're on the Charisma label. Had a few hit singles. Then suddenly split up. Then got back together again, I think 76, 77, for some Christmas concerts, which were recorded as live album. Very popular. Always do that in Newcastle around at the time. Then got back together, had another hit with Run for Home. And I've sort of carried on, sort of in different bits and bits. I think there's only one or two of the original lineup left now doing the band. Alan Hull, who wrote both the tracks on this record, sadly passed away in the few years ago now. But Lindisfarne, entertaining band. If you haven't heard any of their music, I certainly would recommend you check out some of the stuff. I've managed to pick up some albums of theirs as well. Coming up is a 12-inch single. This band is a particular favourite of mine. It's The Mission. and it's their single Tower of Strength. Now, in America, they're known as the Mission UK, not to be confused with the band called the Mission at that time. Very much on the top goth band, very popular with that audience. I must admit, I discovered them around 86, 87. Managed to see them a couple of times in 88, and it was a classic example of a band that maybe had grown too quick for the venue. I saw them at a place called the Hummingbird, which is sort of like a nightclubish type venue, which at tops I think held about 1,200. And then at the end of the year, the album that came from Children was very popular. Was the biggest success. It was produced by John Paul Jones. Well, anyway, they played the Birmingham National Exhibition Centre Arena, which holds 11,000. And I saw them, and to be honest, I think the venue dwarfed them. It wasn't a very good show, and I think they were sort of overwhelmed at how big the place was and how popular they'd become. Never play that venue again. They're due to tour the UK in November, so I'm sort of looking forward. Hopefully, I might be able to get a ticket and go. Yeah, on this 12-inch single is their version of Aerosmith's "Dream On." I think they've got a little bit of stick when they toured America playing that, because I think it's a bit of an anthem over there, Aerosmith, "Dream On" by Aerosmith. But hey, you've got to as long as you give the song you're all, don't disrespect the tune. I think there's nothing wrong in covering tracks. There are holy grails, but I think if you want to cover a song, why not? I had to put it with Pepsi and Shirley doing or cover of Freeze All Right Now, and cool, that took some swallowing. That did. Another single. This is the Moody Blues "Go Now," which was a #1 hit in the UK. Featured Denny Lane on vocals. This is on the London label. I think in the UK it was on the Decca label. So I think this is it's definitely not a UK version. As I say, it was a #1 single, and at that time, really, but it's almost got tagged as a bit of one-hit wonder. Didn't follow it up, and ended up on the sort of cabaret circuit. Denny Lane left. I think the bass player left as well. So Justin Hayward and John Lodge joined the band, but they were doing like the chicken in the basket cabaret circuit, and I think this covers and almost like comedy songs. And one night, one dissatisfied customer went into their dressing room and basically told them, "You were the worst band I've ever seen. I pay good money to see you, yada yada yada." And it was from that moment they decided to ditch the image of the blue suits and then try go in their own direction, which ended up as being Days of Future Past, and the rest is history, as they say. So, but great song, Another 12-inch single. This is Iggy Pop's "Real Wild Child." This was Iggy's first hit single in the UK, and after all these years, a bit of a pop song, to be quite honest. Totally different to what we know him for. It's a great song. I mean, I loved it at the time. In fact, I loved it a bit too much, and somebody gave me the nickname of Iggy for a while because of it. So I'm glad I picked this up. On here, the extended version was produced and remixed by David Bowie and David Richards, who was the producer for Queen. In fact, Bowie did the whole record. So the link with Iggy Pop and Bowie, it is a strong link from obviously the time in Berlin. Iggy Pop does a really good radio show in the UK on BBC Six Music. If you haven't listened to it, try. It's worth checking out. Really eclectic taste in music. Very droll. Great stories. It's enjoyable. It's worth checking out, and he's still going, the old man. And so, fair play. I enjoyed that single at the time. Another single. This is a particular favourite track of mine. This is Northern Lights by Renaissance. This is their biggest single they had. It was a top 20 hit in 1979. for a while it was all I ever knew of them. It's only been recently that I've sort of listened to their albums, and their blend of really folk prog, for want of a better phrase. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I remember this thing. I know my mum liked it, which probably put me off it for a while. You know, teenagers, don't like what your mum likes, do you? So I'm pleased I found this. It's just a good single. I enjoyed it. It plays. Back to another 12-inch single, and this is 12-inch EP, and this is David Lee Roth, and he's Crazy from the Heat EP. You got the main tracks, Just a Gigolo and California Girls. So at the time, he'd, I think, either left Van Halen or was asked to leave, one of the two. I just remember the videos. David Lee Roth. He lives and breathes rock and roll. He's your front man. The whole pizzazz. Here I am. Take me as you are. He's not afraid. I'm glad he's back with Van Halen, and I did enjoy the album they put together. I thought it was okay. I know it got bits, some got negative. I know Tattoo was sort of like, ooh, it's a bit different, but no, I enjoyed it. Fair play, and I think can't go wrong with David Lee Roth. Bit of Frank Sinatra, and this is his album Where Are You? I think this came out in '59, and this is an original copy, I believe, on Capitol Records. So especially imported by EMI Records. Well, okay, if you say so. With Gordon Jenkins and his orchestra. Very mellow. That's what I'll say about Frank Sinatra. And, as I might have mentioned previously, it's invent pop music as we know it, with the album and just the songs. It almost feels like a concept album to me, listening to this. I enjoy it. It's a good listen, and some of the songs will just hold you back, and you feel a little bit of lump in my throat occasionally when listening to. Now, a couple of songs hit a couple of pieces by Traffic. This is Hole in My Shoe, their second single, their biggest single, written by Dave Mason, got to number 2, 1967. Covered by Neil from the Young Ones in 1984. It's a product of his time. The girls talking, God knows what she was talking about. But the second piece, I'm really glad I found, Welcome to the Canteen. In fact, looking from it, you wouldn't know it was a Traffic album, because it mentions all the individuals that played on it. And this is a live album, which was recorded as a benefit for the Odd magazine. They'd got a famous court case where the three editors, were all tried and effectively found guilty. And one of the things was they effectively had to cut their hair. They were made to cut their long hair short. Richard Neville, one of the editors, has sadly passed away. As far as Traffic goes, this is the last recording that Dave Mason in. He was forever in and out of the band. A bit of a fraught relationship with Steve Winwood. So it's a great album, actually. Got Dear Mr. Fancy and Give Me Some Lovin', some versions of that. I think I enjoyed it. I was so glad I found this, because I think this is quite hard to find. UB40's Labour of Love. This is their first of the covers album. Red Red Wine's on it. It was the big hit, #1 in the UK, I think #1 in the US a few years later. It changed UB40's directions, unfortunately. Some people will see them as a sort of a reggae karaoke band after that, which was a shame, because their first couple of albums were great, hard-hitting stuff. And finally, a sort of punk new wave collection, 20 of Another Kind. We've got on here Plastic Bertrand, Saint Paul, Stranglers No More Heroes, we've got Cure, Killing an Arab, Skid Sweet Suburbia at all. So that is that, and I'm running out up to me 15 minutes. So thank you again for viewing. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll have another video in the week. Until then, keep smiling, keep listening to music. Enjoy yourself.